Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt just a bit weaker than usual? Not the kind of tired you feel when you miss sleep, but that nagging sense that your body isn't quite like it used to be. Walking feels slower. Reaching up for something feels heavier. Bending down to tie your shoes becomes a bit wobbly. And you tell yourself, I guess I'm just getting older. But you know what? As a doctor who works closely with people over 50, I want you to hear something important. It's not just age. Your muscles are quietly slipping away while you're sleeping. That might sound strange, but it's true. Research shows that after 60, we can lose up to 8% of our muscle mass every 10 years, and most of that loss happens at night when we're resting. Why? Because when we sleep, the process that builds and maintains muscle protein synthesis slows down significantly. Without enough nutrients, especially the right kind of protein before bed, our bodies start breaking down muscle to survive. I remember a patient named Mark, 67 years old. He used to be active, working with his hands, playing sports climbing mountains. But just a few years into retirement, he started tripping, more struggling to get up from chairs, and waking with back pain. Tests showed he'd lost almost 5 kilos of muscle, and he hadn't even noticed. You see, muscle loss doesn't announce itself. It doesn't ring a warning bell. It happens quietly, like someone redrawing the map of your body, turning simple tasks into new challenges. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you so you'll know we can do something about it starting today. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning feeling steady, strong. No aches, no hesitation on the stairs. That's not out of reach. It begins with small, simple decisions like what you eat before bed. Later, I'll share specific foods that help. But first remember this. No one is ever too old to get stronger. Every night you get a chance to care for your body while your mind rests. So tonight, what will you give your body? A night where you just sleep, or a night where you truly recover? The choice is yours. And I'm here to walk with you. Picture us sitting together, sharing a warm cup of tea as the day winds down. Because tonight I want to talk about something small but powerful enough to make a real difference: what you eat before bed. I know many people over 50 tell me sleep isn't so simple anymore. Some say they wake up in the middle of the night and feel like they barely dozed. Others say, "Doctor, I sleep 8 hours, so why do I still feel tired and achy in the morning?" And many say they feel like they're losing strength, like the muscle they once had is quietly slipping away. Have you ever felt like that? Our bodies, especially after half a life lived, become more sensitive. Muscle doesn't bounce back like it did at 30, and sleep, the natural gift it once was, now needs more thoughtful care. But one thing most people overlook is this: what you eat before bedtime can be the key to rebuilding your body while you sleep. Let me paint a picture. Every night, when you drift off, your body becomes a quiet construction site, millions of cells repairing, rebuilding, healing. But to do that, they need materials, nutrients from what you eat. If you choose the right foods before bed, you give your body precious building blocks to rebuild muscle, reduce inflammation, and help you sleep more deeply. One of my patients, Linda, 62, struggled with chronic back pain and frequent insomnia. We tried many things, then added just a simple change: a small serving of cottage cheese with a few slices of kiwi before bed. In a few weeks, she told me, I sleep through the night, and I wake up feeling alive again. It wasn't magic. It was gentle, powerful science. There are many foods suited to this stage of life: Greek yogurt, Tart, cherries, hard-boiled eggs, almonds, even peanut butter, each offering a touch of protein, tryptophan, magnesium, or natural anti-inflammatories. The key is a little bit the right kind at the right time, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. I'm not handing you a magic formula. What I want is for you to realize your body still has amazing capacity for renewal. It can get stronger if you treat it with care and insight. So tonight, instead of skipping a bedtime snack or mindless scrolling on your phone, pick a small, thoughtful option. Send your body a message of care. You might be surprised by how different tomorrow morning can feel. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Have you ever felt like you're watching your body withdraw funds from a bank that once seemed never-ending, losing muscle tone, bones, not as strong organs slowing down? But here's the wonderful part. We can restore ourselves if we feed our bodies the right way. I remember a patient in his late 60s, a former mechanic who came in looking drained. He said, "Doc, I'm still eating 3 meals a day, but I feel like a wet rag." After chatting a while, I finally asked, "Are you eating anything light before bed?" He shook his head. "I avoid late-night snacks because I don't want to gain weight." That's such a common misconception. The truth is, a small, well-chosen bedtime snack, like 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs, can help your body recover during sleep far more effectively than any pill. Hard-boiled eggs aren't just easy to digest, they're a superfood for aging muscles, especially after 50. Each egg contains a complete protein, meaning it provides all the essential amino acids needed to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. And here's the kicker. The egg yolk is rich in leucine, known as the starter switch for muscle building. Plus, eggs can help elevate IGF-1. 1. A hormone that supports growth and tissue repair, something our bodies need more and more as muscle mass diminishes with age. Picture this: when you eat a hard-boiled egg before bed, you're not just fueling up, you're sending a loving message to your body. I still believe in your power to heal. While you sleep, the protein from that egg is quietly traveling to tired, worn-out parts of your muscles, repairing and reinforcing. For those of us with slower digestion, something many older adults experience, eggs are ideal, soft, easy to chew, easy to digest, and gentle on the stomach. And because they have a low glycemic index, you don't have to worry about blood sugar spikes or disrupted sleep. In fact, just a little bedtime protein can help stabilize your glucose levels through the night, avoiding the 2 or 3 a.m. silent hunger that wakes many of us up. So there it is, sometimes 1 to 2 hard-boiled eggs, a humble, straightforward snack, become a quiet companion, helping your body resist decline, renew energy, and maintain a strong foundation. Tonight, instead of skipping that bite before bed, boil a couple of eggs. Hold one in the palm of your hand, feel its warmth, and think about all the small miracles happening inside your body tonight, restoring, rebuilding, renewing. Because you deserve a healthy, resilient body, even as you enter Chapter 3 of your life. It's late. The house has finally quieted down. No more cars outside, no TV in the background. Just you. And that familiar dull ache in your back, your knees, and a kind of fatigue that's hard to name. You close your eyes, hoping a good night's sleep will restore you. But let's be honest, sleep just doesn't come as easily as it used to. Does it? Have you ever felt that way? One of my patients, Margaret, she's 64, once said something that stayed with me. She looked at me, smiled gently, and said, "Doc, I don't mind getting older. I just don't like waking up every morning feeling like I ran a marathon in my dreams." And you know what? I think a lot of us can relate to that. Because aging doesn't just mean gray hair or wrinkles. It also means that our body loses its ability to recover, especially at night, when it's supposed to be repairing and restoring itself in silence. But here's the good news. There's something simple, something natural I often recommend to patients struggling with restless nights: Tart cherry juice. Not just any juice. Tart cherry is different. It's rich in natural melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate your body clock and deepen your sleep. But what I love most about this fruit is a compound called anthocyanin, a powerful anti-inflammatory that eases joint and muscle pain and helps repair tissue after a long day. Margaret started drinking about 4 to 6 ounces of tart cherry juice every night before bed. After a month, she came back with the brightest smile. She said, "Sleep isn't a battle anymore, Doc. I wake up feeling lighter, not dragging myself out of bed. Now, I'm not saying this juice is some kind of miracle cure, but when you pair it with good sleep habits, a healthy diet, and gentle daily movement, it becomes a quiet ally in your healing journey." And a quick tip: make sure it's 100% tart cherry juice, no added sugars. Some store brands sneak in sweeteners and preservatives, things that won't do your sleep or your blood sugar any favors. At our age, we don't need flashy fixes. What we need is restoration. A dreamless sleep. A morning where getting out of bed doesn't feel like a challenge. A small glass of juice 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Nothing fancy, but such a humble gift for your body. Are you willing to try this one small thing for a better night? Because you deserve to sleep well. You deserve to wake up feeling strong and at peace in your own body. Let me tell you another story, this time about a food you've probably seen on a supermarket shelf or tucked away in your pantry: a can of tuna. But today I'm not talking about just any tuna. I mean tuna packed in olive oil and its surprisingly important role in muscle health and sleep for those of us over 50. At this stage in life, we don't eat just to feel full. We eat to feel well. To rise from a chair without needing support. To walk without stopping for aching knees. To wake up and not feel like your body's slipping away like a candle burning too fast. One of my patients, Helen, she's 67, put it beautifully. "I'm not afraid of aging, Doc. I'm afraid of needing help to lift a pot of soup because my hands are too weak." And I get that. No one wants to feel like a burden. We want to keep the independence we've earned with decades of living. That's why I often suggest a small bedtime snack, something with healthy fats and high-quality protein, like half a can of tuna in extra virgin olive oil. Pair it with a slice of whole grain bread or a few crisp cucumber slices. It's light, easy to digest, but packed with nutrients your body craves after 50. Tuna is rich in leucine, an amino acid that flips the switch for muscle repair. It tells your body, hey, it's time to rebuild. Let's hold on to that strength. It also gives you omega-3 fatty acids, which not only support heart health, but help protect your muscles from silently breaking down as activity levels decline. And the olive oil. It helps you absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, while also slowing digestion just enough to stabilize blood sugar overnight. That means deeper sleep, fewer awakenings, and more energy in the morning. Picture this. Tonight, instead of skipping your evening snack, you open that little can. Scoop out half. Maybe drizzle a little more olive oil, eat slowly, quietly. And as you drift off to sleep, your body gets to work quietly, repairing, easing inflammation, restoring your muscle strength. Growing older doesn't have to mean giving up. It can be an art. The art of intentional living, mindful eating, grateful resting. That little can of tuna might seem ordinary, but sometimes it's a quiet promise to your body. I'm still here. I'm still taking care of you. And your body will answer with steadier steps, easier mornings, and that incredible feeling of being in control of your life again. I'm not saying cottage cheese is some kind of miracle, but I do believe in the quiet power of small things done consistently. And at our age, what we need isn't some big dramatic change. It's gentle, steady habits that nourish us from the inside out. Are you willing to try this? Just half a small cup before bed. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. But it could be a precious gift to your body every night, every morning, every step that doesn't shake with weakness. Because you know what? You are never too old to grow strong again. You just have to give your body a chance starting tonight. I don't know how your evenings usually end, maybe a light TV show, a few pages of a book before the lights go out, or maybe just sitting in silence, listening to your thoughts drift by like wind. But tonight, I want you to imagine this before bed. You take a few walnuts, just 4 to 6 of them, in your hand. And you eat them slowly, mindfully, like a quiet little ritual to prepare yourself for sleep. Sounds too simple, doesn't it? But don't overlook it, because sometimes the smallest things carry the deepest strength. I remember a patient, Thomas, 65 years old, used to be an accountant. Very precise, very methodical. He came to me with a concern I've heard so many times. I could recite it, "Doc, I can't sleep. My eyes are closed, but my mind just won't shut off. And in the morning, I feel like a rag doll, completely drained." I asked him, "Have you ever thought maybe your body isn't recovering the way it should at night?" He blinked, and that's when I introduced him to walnuts. Walnuts are one of the most elegant gifts nature has given us, especially after 50. Small and easy to overlook, but inside they carry a rare combination: natural melatonin, omega-3s, and plant-based protein. Have you ever felt like your body is tired, but your brain keeps spinning? That might be cortisol, the stress hormone, still running high at night. And when cortisol stays elevated, your sleep can't dip into the deep phase, the one where true restoration happens, where muscle tissue heals, where memory gets reorganized. Here's the magic: walnuts have a way of gently calming the body. Melatonin acts like your internal clock, whispering, "It's time to rest." Omega-3s work like tiny repairmen, easing inflammation and repairing the microdamage from the day. And the protein. It helps rebuild muscles, something we all need more of as our bodies begin to withdraw investment after 60. I suggested Thomas try eating 4 to 6 walnuts before bed, maybe paired with a spoon of almond butter. Nothing excessive, nothing complicated. Just a good night gesture to his own body. A few weeks later, he came back with a quiet smile. "Doc, I'm not tossing and turning until 2 a.m. anymore. And in the morning, I feel stronger, more grounded." That's not magic. That's the body saying, "Thank you for being nourished at the right time, in the right way." Growing older isn't the end. It's a new journey. One where we learn to slow down, live deeper, and treat ourselves with more kindness. And sometimes that kindness starts with something very small. A handful of walnuts eaten in silence, like a gentle message to your body. "I'm still listening to you." I want you to pause for a moment and think. When was the last time you woke up and truly felt restored? I'm not talking about just clocking 8 hours. I mean the kind of sleep where you wake up light, flexible, pain-free, no stiffness in your neck or heaviness in your knees. That feeling like your body quietly repaired itself overnight. Do you remember what that felt like, I ask, because after 50, especially, as we cross into our 60s, that kind of morning becomes rare. So many of my patients say, "Doctor, I sleep, but I still wake up tired. It feels like my body doesn't bounce back anymore." And I understand. Because as we age, cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to creep up, especially at night. And cortisol doesn't just steal your sleep, it breaks down your muscles and speeds up aging in silence. But this isn't permanent. And sometimes the solution is surprisingly simple. A spoonful of almond butter. Yes, really. Almond butter made from 100% ground almonds with no added sugar can be a nighttime hero for your body. One of my patients, Linda, 64, a retired dance teacher, used to complain about restless nights and waking up with aches and weakness. We worked on her diet, and I suggested a spoonful of almond butter with a slice of whole grain toast before bed. 3 weeks later, Linda returned, eyes brighter, standing taller. "I didn't think it would work. It's just a spoonful of nut butter," she said, surprised. "But it does work. Because almond butter is rich in magnesium, which relaxes muscles. It also contains vitamin E and healthy fats that repair tissue. Most importantly, it can help reduce cortisol so you sleep deeper, and your muscles don't get eaten away overnight. I always tell my patients, sleep is your body's hidden construction site, but it needs raw materials to rebuild. A spoonful of almond butter, that's one of those raw materials. Have you ever thought, maybe the answer doesn't lie in another pill, but in a simple, consistent habit every night? Try this, not for me, but for you. For tonight's sleep. For tomorrow's step. For a body that still wants to heal, still deserves care no matter your age. The night has fallen. Everything is quiet. No more phone calls, no more traffic. Just you and that familiar tug of a body that wants rest, but hasn't yet found peace. Have you ever felt like that? A body heavy with fatigue, but a mind that refuses to power down. And you know, if sleep doesn't come tonight, tomorrow will feel like another mountain to climb. I've met so many people in that place, some in their 60s, some just past 50, all saying the same thing. "Doctor, I don't need long sleep. I just want peaceful sleep." And sometimes the answer isn't in sleeping pills or complicated hacks. Sometimes it's in something simple and old-fashioned, a warm cup of turmeric milk at the end of the day. Sounds like a folk remedy, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Some natural combinations are so wise, even modern science nods in agreement. When you make a cup of warm milk, preferably from pasture-raised cows, rich in casein and tryptophan, and add a pinch of golden turmeric and a dash of black pepper, you create something powerful. A natural sleep tonic. It not only helps you sleep deeper, but also gently reduces inflammation throughout the body. Because healing doesn't stop at night. And your body even now is still willing to be healed, if only you'd give it the right signal. I remember one of my patients, Marie, 70 years old. She had mild arthritis and often woke up with aching knees. But more than the pain, what really wore her down was the broken sleep. She told me her nights felt like they were stitched together with threads that kept coming loose. I suggested something simple, a warm cup of golden milk before bed, just a bit of turmeric stirred into warm milk with a touch of raw honey to make it easier to drink. At first she laughed and said I used to make that for my grandkids when they had a cough. But 3 weeks later she came back, gently held my hand and said, "I slept 6 hours straight, for the first time in 4 years. And in the morning my knees didn't ache like they usually do." Why did it help so much? Because turmeric, specifically the compound called curcumin, is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories we know of. But here's the catch. Curcumin only works best when it's paired with fat, like in milk, and a little black pepper, which contains piperine. That's what helps your body absorb it. And then there's tryptophan, naturally found in milk. It helps your body produce melatonin and serotonin, the very hormones that help you sleep deeper and feel more relaxed. And the calcium in milk. It's not just for your bones. It also helps calm the nervous system. It's like gently dimming the lights in your body, signaling it's time to rest. I want you to picture this. Tonight before bed, you warm a small cup of milk. You stir in a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, and maybe a spoonful of honey. if you like a little sweetness. You drink it slowly, feeling the warmth travel down to your belly, like you're sending your body a quiet little message. Thank you. Now rest. We can't stop time, but we can learn to walk with our bodies more gently, more wisely. And sometimes, that journey begins with something as simple as a golden cup of milk. Not just warm in your belly, but warm enough to soothe your sleep too.